Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked.
So Jenna, tell me about your trip you went on this past weekend.
Well, I went to Bakersfield, which is a shithole little place. Actually, it's a very big place in Kern County, California. And we went there so my husband could race because he drives race cars. He goes super fast in a very short quarter mile.
So how long is the drive to Bakersfield from here?
Like 3 hours.
Oh, it's not too bad with the kids.
Yeah, the kids suck. But they, I picked them up at noon from school, and so they're like, they just had lunch and they're ready to go to sleep. But I only had 2 of them because Brad took the littlest one with him the day before, and so to get to Bakersfield, you have to go through the Grapevine.
Oh, yeah.
And because of all the winter storms in Southern California, there was a major storm and snow all through the Grapevine. The Grapevine was actually shut down. Brad barely made it through. He sent me pictures of it snowing, and he is towing a 54-foot trailer.
Oh my gosh, that's
with
scary.
my baby.
That is so scary because of the ice on the roads and stuff.
And he leaves at 3 a.m. to like beat all the traffic and everything. He him and his dad don't want to deal with it, so they just leave like super early and just to get out of the way. So they left, and it's like so icy at that point. In fact, his uncle and aunt went up maybe 2 or 3 hours later than them, and they got stopped. Like they couldn't get through. And it was shut down, and then I went up the next day, and it was open, and there was, like, barely any snow. It was so random from being all snowy to, like, nothing.
So it melted really fast then.
Yeah, so it was just insane. The Grapevine had already been closed for, like, 4 or 5 days at that point. So I think that it was just, like, the ass end of it, but they did go through, like, real down snow, like a snowstorm, which in Southern California is not supposed to happen.
No.
We are supposed to be 72 and sunny 342 days out of the year, pretty much. Like, we get sprinkles, and we're like, we need a storm shelter. There's like car accidents all over the roads, like every freeway shut down. Most people don't leave their house when it sprinkles here.
There was lots of hail too, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hail all over. Big
no,
pieces of hail.
I drove through the hail. Me and Jackie were coming back from someplace. I forget where we were coming back from, and it hailed. It hailed, and I was like, "Why is it every time I'm with you, it hails?" Legit. The time before that, we went to Disney on Ice, and it hailed on the way home. And then all of a sudden, like last week, we were coming back from something, and it was hailing again. And I was like, bitch, like, why is it every time I'm with you, it's freaking hailing?
She's like Elsa. She brings a storm.
Right? I swear to God, I've never even seen so much hail until Jackie got in the car with me.
Oh, my
gosh. I've never seen that much hail in San Diego ever. And suddenly this winter, she's in the car with me every other weekend, and it's suddenly hailing everywhere we freaking go. It was so freaking gnarly, though, but, yeah, like, we survived it, so, you know, I'm here to tell the tale.
And the race was good? The race was, like, they were able to do the race, or what happened with that?
No, actually. So, the race was Thursday was qualifying, Friday was qualifying, Saturday was round. Final round was supposed to be on Sunday, and it rained all day Sunday, so we totally got rained out, and because the cars, there's no traction. They're called slicks, the tires.
Oh, okay.
So they're slicks because they're like smooth. There's no traction like cars that we drive.
Yeah.
And my husband drives dragsters, so they're the long, skinny ones. And they go, his car goes 191 miles per hour in a quarter mile in 6.89 seconds.
And don't they stop with parachutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Brad has a parachute and everything. And I'm his backup girl. I'm his backup babe.
Aww.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really fun. I forgot my shoes, and I swore that they were in the trailer somewhere.
You forgot your shoes?
Yeah, so I had to go out on the track in my boots, in my, like, Uggs. And,
oh, wow. Well, at least you had your Uggs.
Well, yeah, because that's what I drove up there. And because it's freaking, I'm going through snow. I'm not going to wear tennis shoes in the fucking snow.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to wear my Uggs. And I was like, dude, I lost my shoes. Where are my shoes? But because I had...
Oh, man.
So when you go to the track, we're living there for like 4 days. It's like a little community gets together and we're all just living.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like 200,000 people come together and we're all living there, and we build a city for like 5 days. Like a week, you know.
There's that many people.
Yeah, on both sides, because like you have the pits on one side, and then the track and the other side is for campers that are like spectators. And I've never seen the stands
I totally forgot
busy.
there would be spectators.
Yeah, it was super. Yeah,
that is so dumb to say, but I never thought about it that way. Like I just
people actually go there to watch.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. No, it makes sense. But I just know your side of it, so I never thought about like the spectator side.
Yeah, no, it's so funny too. My friend that I grew up with, he came out to a race in Arizona, and he was in the back with us working on the cars and whatever. And he's like, dude, life back here is totally different than just being a spectator and watching the races, and then eating food, and then watching the races, having a beer, watching the races. He's like, this is such a different world back here. And I was like, what? Because all I do back here is watch TV in my trailer. So our trailer,
because it's like your little house.
It is. It's a home away from home. So we have, so I have a TV, and I have a bed and a couch, and the boys go in there and chill. They have everything they need. We have a stove. Like, it's like a trailer in the front. The first 18 feet is my area, or 28 feet is my area.
Nice.
And then the other 36 or 30 whatever to equal 54 is Brad's race car and all the race car stuff. So I have a bathroom. I have everything in my end. And so when it's cold or the elements are crazy, we just chill in the front.
So the boys are getting a little bit bigger, especially Max. Like, do they try to help with, like, getting stuff ready?
Oh, my gosh. So Max started to help with the car when he was probably about 3. He would help push the car into the trailer, like, with the big tires that are bigger than him.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. They're huge.
Yeah. And then he's helped take down because we put up, like, it's almost like an easy up, but it's massive and, like, twice as tall and 5 times as long. And there's all these poles that have to be connected together, almost like a tent type thing.
Yeah.
And so he's always helped with that, only this time Jake helped.
Oh, Jake
the
helped?
little baby.
Oh, my god.
Yeah, Cody was, he was already banished to the trailer. He wasn't allowed to come out because he was being a little hellion.
Oh,
but, yeah, so...
Timeout time.
Yeah, he had to just chill until we were done. But, yeah, so it's like our little home away from home, and Max got to work on the car. He was screwing on the oil pan on the bottom this time, and he's only 6.
Oh, how fun.
And then,
That's
of course,
so
my
cute.
oldest one, the 22-year-old Zane, is, he works on the car. And stuff,
yeah.
So, I mean, he's been around it longer than, anybody, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone is involved.
Yeah, it's a totally family thing. Uncle, his grandfather, and... Well, no, wait. His dad. Boy's grandfather.
Yeah. So what was the outcome of the race? Like,
so because it got rained out, Brad only had to do his final round with his friend. So our class is so amazing because a lot of classes, they're competitive with each other, but not just like, we're like a fun competitive class. I mean, we are competitive, obviously, like everybody wants to win. Yeah. But other people are like... mean competitive.
Oh yeah,
they're all like
no sportsmanship at all or anything.
And we're like, we love
unity,
each other. It sucks because I'll be out there trying to root for like Brad because I want him to win, obviously, but then I'm also like, oh, but I want to see like Danny and Dustin and Matt win and like
the opponents or whatever.
Yeah, with the other guy, and so it's hard because
so
we like love each other.
I'm
totally Switzerland. So because we got rained out, him and Dustin were like, dude, we could go race tomorrow, which would be Monday, but the condition, the racers had to stay until Monday. Oh, okay. And they finished out their race. So Top Fuel, I think, went home like we did, but Funny Car and everybody else stayed, Double A Fuel, everybody else stayed to finish out the race because they don't have the camaraderie that me and that our class has.
So you just came to an understanding like it's too slick or it's too...
Well, they were like, this, like Brad and Dustin were like, this is not a good time to race. Like, why would we want to race in these conditions? It's going to be who gets the better lane at this point. The track is bullshit. It's not about the driver. It's not about the car. It's about who doesn't slick the tires and fuck everything up. Who doesn't go up and smoke.
Yeah.
Who, and it's just, at that point, you might as well just flip a coin and call it a day and not break anything.
And then you don't want to risk your machine, like your vehicle, your car, because... Right?
Or
you
like how,
crash.
You can ruin like, oh my gosh, like rods and pistons and fucking, I don't even know what else, but things like rocker arms and shit. And I don't know, Brad's probably gonna listen to this and be like, you are such a dumb bitch.
I don't know any of the parts. Yeah, so I'm just like engine, parachute, wheels, like
sounds good.
Wheel, like a helmet. Steering wheel,
There's
helmet, seatbelts. There's
lots of
seatbelts.
seatbelts. In fact, his arms are even seatbelted in. So his arms don't fly out, and like if he rolls.
Damn.
So yeah, it's super safe and everything, but yeah.
Does he have to wear like a fire suit?
Yeah, he wears a S20, so he's like the highest fire suit because it goes by how fast you go.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know there was different levels. Actually.
Yeah, there's SF5, so it's 5 layers, and then it goes to SF20, and so he's on the top like layers SF20. So he has 20. So it's like a 5-pound fire suit. Like, it's ridiculous. And
do you think your kids will race like when they're older, like growing up there?
I would imagine. Zane had a race car, but he didn't. Because kids can only go up to like 80 miles an hour, so he was like irritated by the time he got to be like 12.
Oh,
he was like,
it
just
wasn't
too
fun
slow.
anymore.
I want to go faster. So he went to the desert and started to do all like desert racing stuff because you can go faster there. There's not as many rules.
Oh yeah, okay.
The NHRA is so just rules. So, anyways, all right. So.
What did you put together for us?
Yeah, right? Let's get on to this, because I can just talk about racing forever, because it's been my life for the last, 10 years. But anyways, so this actually started as almost like a secret second constitution, as opposed to the real constitution that we wrote. We didn't write, but
like
our forefathers, the one that Nicolas Cage stole a national treasure, right?
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage, he haunts me.
Nick Cage. So, but then it kind of transformed. The more that I looked into it, it kind of transformed into more about this whole world bank, world secrets, gold. Oh. Crazy shit. So, let me tell about Karen Hudes, because she was the one that kind of brought to light a lot of things that were wrong. So, Karen Hudes was born December 20th, 1948, and she passed away October 27th, 2022. 73 years old, and it was just this past year.
Wow.
And I think that that's why more of this is coming out about this particular conspiracy involving the Constitution and the World Bank, is because she died. So it's finally
people are like, why did she die? How did she die?
Yeah. So from 1980 to 1985, she worked at the U.S. Export-Import Bank. She then became the senior counsel for the World Bank from 1986 to 2007. So she was the senior counsel, is pretty much their in-house lawyer, and was in charge of all their legal advice and questions. So most senior council members will work closely with the company's CEO, as their advice is a major factor in the business's well-being and decision-making.
Okay.
Anytime that you see a CEO, you'll always see someone who is standing close, and that's more than an assistant or a secretary, but it's actually their counsel, to make sure they're making the right decisions legally. If you watch interviews with the CEOs, you'll see their counsel close by, almost like a glorified PR, but for legal reasons. So, if you see some, Joe Biden or anybody making a speech, you'll see some people behind them. Mm-hmm. And then if he says anything kind of wonky, you can, see them, give a look. Hey, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, and hit him a little and be like, hey, what the fuck? Don't say that,
We're not talking about that today.
Wait, stop. Yeah, you're gonna, implicate yourself, or you're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so that was her.
Oh, okay.
Her obituary, and this is a big thing, her obituary stated that Karen was that Karen is okay. This is in quotes, so I'm gonna read this one.
Yeah,
it's a lot of shit. Okay,
yeah,
and this was written by her children. Established the non-governmental organization committee of the International Law Section of the American Bar Association and the Committee on Multilateralism and the Accountability of International Organizations of the American Branch of the International Law Association.
That is a mouthful.
That is exactly what I have written. So that's a mouthful of a lot of words.
I'm trying to, like, as you're saying it, I appreciate that you're saying it kind of slow because you're, like, letting us take it all in, but I still don't understand what that means. Like,
I don't know.
What did she create? Like,
all sorts of shit.
Yeah, wow.
That was, like, 4 or 5 things.
Yeah.
That, like, she did a lot of lawyer shit.
She was, like, sounds like she was, like, one of the top.
Yeah,
like,
and she was, yes. A lot of organizations and committees that sound, like, super important to how the law we use today is handled. And I'm sure, like, a lot of Harvard law students and other law students use her as a reference.
Sure, yeah.
She made an impact and changed a lot of things and added to the law. She wasn't just a lawyer doing a job. She was actually making a difference, which is so hard to find now. Karen even had publications in not only the USA, but England, France, Germany, Holland, Jordan, and Yemen. Wow. She was a well-respected professional woman until she wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was definitely, like, up there, top tier.
Seems like she had a lot of notoriety, and she really was respected in her community of, like, her profession of what she did, and people looked up to her and learned from her. And how did it just go to shit?
Well, we'll find out.
I mean, it seems like she accomplished so much.
She did, and she did so much just for the people and just in general.
Yeah.
She was, like, a really, like, for the people type of person. She wasn't just trying to be, like, a shady lawyer, ambulance chaser type lawyer.
Make a buck.
She was, she wasn't trying to make a buck. She was trying to make a difference, make sure everybody's accountable, and she held her law degree to a certain standard.
Yeah.
In 1999, Karen Hudes noticed a discrepancy within the Philippine Bank.
Oh, in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was at the World Bank.
Yeah, yeah.
So
she has access to all of that.
She's in trouble. She's in charge. She's in charge of, like, so yeah, the World Bank is, like, kind of in charge of, like, all the banks, I guess. Like, they're just kind of oversee.
I mean, it makes sense. World,
yeah. They were loaning and sending money to countries that they were not allowed to do, and they were using taxpayer monies to do so.
Oh, wow. Shady.
She wanted to conduct an audit.
Okay.
Instead of them looking into the discrepancy and conducting the audit that they should have, they placed her on probation.
For bringing it to light? Oh, so they already knew about it.
Yeah, and she was forced to stay silent.
Oh, wow.
And she would be forced to stay silent. When she went to the internal audit department, she was immediately fired.
What? So they fired her for doing her job?
Yeah. Like, for being like, hey, dude, this ain't right. Like, let's fix this shit.
Yeah. And they could have, like, they didn't even try to, like, lie to her and say, oh, it's because of something, or try to
cover
They
anything.
just immediately fired her.
So, yeah, this just shows that the World Bank was in on moving the money around and loaning it out when they were not legally allowed to. They were guilty, and she was calling them out on it, so
yeah,
you gotta go. She went to the National Taxpayers Union in 2009, so, like, 10 years later. She got fired in 2007, but so it was really 2 years later, but she was starting to bring it to light in 1999. So 10 years after she started to be like, hey guys.
Okay. Maybe she wanted more evidence or something before she brought it forward. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, no, maybe. So she went to the National Taxpayers Union, and she obviously never got her job or career back, and she never got her reputation back.
She couldn't even start her own law firm in, like, a lower capacity and, like, become an
no, because she had already been she had already, like, her name was already dragged through the mud at this point.
Wow.
She was involved and helped to start the Whistleblower Protection Act. That was signed into law as of November 2012. So with a name like that, and you're the one that started that, you can't, like...
So she's the reason why we have that.
Yeah, and the Whistle Protection Act means that if someone sees something wrong, they can report it without being singled out or fired over it.
Okay.
Honestly, though, that's kind of silly, right? Because even if you aren't fired over it, I'm sure you're not going to be making any friends. So you go whistleblow on your fucking employer, and what, you're going to just keep your job? You're going to make some enemies, and they're going to make it so rough for you to work there that you're going to be forced to quit, right?
I feel like if you're a whistleblower, it's not even like that job that you would probably want to protect, because you probably wouldn't even, depending on what you were reporting, you maybe wouldn't even want to work there because it might go against like your values or something, but it doesn't tarnish your name where you can still work in the industry or something, because they can't look down on you because you're a whistleblower. I see what you're saying. Yeah, but maybe you don't want to work for that company anymore because you're like, well, this is, why would I want to work here anyway? Like, you guys have no integrity, or you guys are going against the law, or like whatever the problem was, you know?
I guess, but it seems like the Whistleblower Protection Act is just kind of like...
Or maybe they got to keep you anonymous somehow?
I don't think they can, because it's all over the news.
Yeah,
like,
no,
whistleblower, John Smith, da-da-da-da. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just supposed to protect your reputation, but I don't know.
But I don't think it does. Whenever the news and media gets involved, you're already fucked.
I mean, at least she was doing something to try to protect people who wanted to, you know, speak out about things that were not right, and, you know. So, I mean, yeah, she was trying to make a difference still, even after all that.
Yeah, and she did. She did make a difference, and she did. She was trying to do something. So that's a little about Karen Hudes. Hudes. I keep saying, like, when I was typing this, I was like, Hudes, but it's Hudes. Hudes. But what was she whistleblowing? What did she know that the World Bank didn't want the rest of the world to know? The fact that on February 21st, here's your history lesson, 1871, under President Grant, the Reorganization Act of 1871 was signed. United States of America was basically bankrupt after the American Civil War.
Okay.
Because obviously the Americans are fighting on each other. Like, what money are they using? It's just all our own money, right?
Yeah, so we went broke on a war that we probably didn't even really...
Well, we did.
Well, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, but
so anyways, so Grant signed in the new act of 1871, pretty much restructuring the original Constitution.
Oh, wait, what? Restructuring the original Constitution?
Yeah.
In what year? 1871?
There you go.
Whoa, that doesn't seem right.
So, yeah.
I've never heard about that before.
That's 150-something years ago. 152 years ago.
They don't teach you that in school.
Not for us. Maybe other countries. So, this act made the United States of America to be structured as a foreign-owned corporation and was called the United States.
Oh, so prior to this, we were not the United States?
We were the United States of America. And prior to this, that's what we were. And then afterwards, it made it where it was structured like a foreign-owned corporation as the United States. And, like, that's it. Like, that is the name of the corporation.
Yeah.
So they changed the wording in the Constitution from the Constitution for the United States to the Constitution of the United States. And that may seem like a small little nothing word. However, this wording would forever change how the United States would be financially structured. The change of this simple word made it so the Constitution was the property of the government as a corporation instead of being owned by and for the people.
What?
Huh? Crazy?
Yeah, I've never heard this. This is so mind-blowing because it's supposed to be for the people.
Yeah, but it's not. It's of the people instead of for the people. Now.
Okay, let's continue. I need to know more about this. I'm kind of dumbfounded. I'm kind of just making like my mouth is just gaping open. I'm like, what does this actually mean?
How do I react to this?
I don't even know. I'm still trying to process it.
And so this meant that the U.S. government turned into a commercial contractive company. If you're a company in the U.S., you have a TIN number. It's a tax identification number. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like a social security number, but it's for your business. And then you'll also have a business credit score with a Dun & Bradstreet, otherwise known as a DUNS number. And if you do anything with the government, you have to have a DUNS number.
Okay.
You have to have an NAICS number as well as a DUNS number if you want anything, any contracts with the government. And I just know that from the machine shop because we do government contracts. So I looked up the Supreme Court and they have a DUNS number. I started to like look it up online because you can look up any company you want online and you can find their DUNS number.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I was trying to look up the actual like federal government, state of California, but there's so many sub like companies like California State, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that it was hard to decipher through, but I did look up the Supreme Court, the federal Supreme Court, and they do have a DUNS number, which means they have a credit score, which means they are a business. How is the Supreme Court a fucking business?
Because the people are their commodity.
Either way, proving more so that Karen did, in fact, know what she was talking about and maybe wasn't bullshitting.
Oh, no. They wouldn't have fired her if she was bullshitting.
So, according to Karen, the state of California, state of Nevada, state of Maryland, state of whatever, are all sub-corporations of the United States Corporation. It's like an umbrella company, like Procter & Gamble, who own Tide, Pampers, Gillette, basically half the household items we all have in our house right now.
Yeah.
So it's the United States, and then all these sub-companies.
Yeah. No, it's making sense. Yeah.
So the District of Columbia, otherwise known as D.C., Washington, D.C., you know, like where the little White House is and the president is sitting all pretty.
Sure.
That became a private business venture that was owned by the World Bank. This move was supposedly 100% influenced and backed by the Rothschild family in order to serve their own interests. 28 U.S. Code 3002 Section 15 says, quote unquote, United States, in quote, just United States quotes, means a federal corporation. This is verbatim from govinfo.com. It is actually written in the U.S. Code book. These are the laws and regulations that we have to adhere to right now, like today. And right there in black and white, I read it for myself. You can too. It is saying that the United States is a federal corporation. It's like right there. All like buried in, you know, all these sections and codes and shit.
Yeah, it's there. You just got to find it. Yeah. And I never would even think to even look up to
Why
even
would you?
think like, if this is even a thing. Yeah.
And people who are not believing this conspiracy are saying that Karen Hudes was wrong about the word corporation, the meaning of it in 1871. And that they actually meant that it's any type of organization, not just in the business sense, but in meaning of any type of group of people that have come together, like a group club, like those types of organizations.
Oh, like when you say something is incorporated.
Except,
Yeah.
incorporated's a fucking business.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but then why would they have to have the Reorganization Act of 1871? What the fuck are they reorganizing? Unless they're organizing the articles of the fucking corporation that they're making. Why would they even use the word corporation, organization, etc., etc.?
Yeah, they're rewriting it to suit their corporation.
Okay, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
According to Karen Hudes, every president since Grant have not been presidents, per se.
Mm-hmm.
They've been CEOs.
That would make sense if it's a corporation. But we, regular people down here and the general population, we're going to perceive him as, that's our president. We're voting for our president, but really,
president of the corporation.
It's a CEO, president of the corporation. Yeah.
The reason Karen Hudes wanted all this information to come to the surface is because, according to Karen, the World Bank is sitting on gold, a massive fucking amount of gold, and charging interest through taxes on the gold. But the gold is supposed to be our gold, the people's gold, not just United States gold, but like everybody in the world's gold. And the gold is sitting in bunkers, banks, vaults, and secret places all over the world in various countries, including China, Philippines, UK, and the USA. Like down below, like in those secret areas. And we all know that there are secret bunkers that the government has.
And so the United States corporation is claiming all that gold as theirs.
No. The world is claiming all the gold as theirs. This goes deeper. It's not just USA.
Okay.
It's the world. Has all this gold that they are charging every taxpayer in the world on. That's why she was conducting the audit on the Philippines.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
it's worldwide.
Yeah,
she's not just doing this for America. She's doing this for everybody in the world. So pretty much what she's saying is that this would be like someone being an heir to a fortune, like let's say their grandfather or whoever passed away and leaves a fortune, and instead of the fortune going straight to the heir, there's a middleman, and that handler is taking the money and not giving it to the heir, then adding interest on top of that and holding it from the heir, and the heir is having to pay taxes and interest and never seeing his money, like just holding it. According to Karen, all that gold came from the city of Solomon. How?
City of Solomon.
There you go.
What year would have been so long ago?
It was, and it was passed to the Aztecs and Incas.
Oh, fuck.
And that's why it's the world's gold, not just ours. And then the Spanish oh my gosh, I can't say it right now.
Conquistadors?
Yes, conquistadors stole it between World War I and World War II. And then a German general told them that they would be better off if they gave him the gold. And in return,
they're just trusting all these people with this fucking gold.
Well, in return, they would receive a promissory note that would carry interest. At that time, the gold was worth about $210 trillion. Now it should be worth quadrillions of dollars with the interest added to it.
I can't even imagine quadrillion. Trillion is already like over my head. Quadrillion?
And so Karen Hudes wanted, so the World Bank was supposed to be put there. So Karen could come up. I wonder if that's why Karen became the name Karen. Because the Whistleblower Act, that's about the time that Karen.
When everyone started saying Karen, don't be a Karen.
Going to the...
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Well, no, you wouldn't because you didn't know the story. I bet that's why. Holy fuck, go to the manager, Karen.
Yes. Oh, they're gaslighting her.
Oh, fuck. I just thought of that right now.
You got like the whole world gaslighter.
Yeah, so anyways, the World Bank was supposed to like help humanity in general.
Yeah. And with money like that, I mean,
how
many people are in the world and divide that? I can't even do the math. Like,
everybody should have,
that would be.
Like, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that everybody should have $1 million. There should be no starving people. There should be nobody without health insurance. There should be nobody with like any problems.
Yeah.
Like everybody should be taken care of in the world with this kind of fucking money, right? So that's what Karen Hudes was trying to bring to light. Like there's all this shit. Okay, you ready for this one? Wolfgang Strutt. That's a man.
Wait, Wolfgang
Strutt.
Okay.
Okay. He was a signatory to the collateral accounts of the nations of the world. So he produced. So he was the one that was like inventory. Pretty much inventory control of all these bunkers and all this shit, of all this gold and all this bullshit that all the world's assets. Okay, this one person has like
talk about top security clearance.
Right? Like, I mean, like, that's pretty much like president of the world. Like,
yeah.
Like, fucking Jack on Titanic. I'm the king of the world. Well, this motherfucker is the king of the world.
Hell yeah, he's good to look at all that gold every day.
Dude, no, but he only has paperwork. Anyway.
I know, but still.
So, he produced a signed inventory page listing all sorts of gold and where it's located.
Can we find that paper?
I have it. We're going to post it on media accounts.
Let's go there and do a little field trip.
Well, we don't know where it is. So, it pretty much says Bunker A, Room 2, but we don't know where anything is.
Sure.
And we don't know where the bunkers are in the world, but somewhere on Earth there are quadrillions of dollars in gold just sitting.
Mm-hmm. You know what it makes me think of?
Any kind of National Treasure movie ever.
Yeah, but it also makes me think of Antarctica and how nobody's allowed to go there.
Mm-hmm.
What? What if?
Yeah.
They've been burying shit down there and they like made up stories about aliens and shit so nobody will go there.
And that's why every part of the world has a stake in it.
Right?
You know where we're going.
Because, you know, they say that Antarctica is full of, like, minerals and different things that are, like...
Yeah, minerals and gold they fucking put there.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We need to look more into Antarctica.
So, I do have the signed inventory paper stating this, and we're definitely going to post it. Mm-hmm. I also have a picture of Wolfgang Strutt and everything.
I want to see all of it.
So, yeah, no, I have it right here, but it's also... I'll send it to you as well, but look... Oh. It literally has everything. Like, I'm showing her a paper right now. Oh, but it's in the Diakarta Tunnel number 2. Certificate of inventory available of gold stocks and other precious and non-precious metals.
There's so many.
Uh-huh. I know. Gold,
there's
oil, King Solomon.
Over 20. Over
gold
30.
Sand, King Solomon. Gold dust, King Solomon. Gold granule, Philip H. PVN 350. But I don't know what any of this means. But yeah,
well, we know what gold means. Gold,
I like gold. That's why I went down to gold.
Gold.
Credit Swiss crown, 120,000 pieces.
Crown.
56.24 kilograms. It's in a 4x4x12 inches. Whatever that is.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking insane?
You know they have like
and then there's the man.
Gems.
And this was signed by Wolfgang Strutt on July 21st, 2008.
Wow, 2008. That wasn't that long ago, really.
No, it really could all still be there. So
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So anyways, Karen Hudes was trying to get the word out there that the World Bank is holding all of our money and charging us interest. She wanted everyone to know that elite and wealthy control the world wealth, and those people want everyone to be in massive debt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
to
makes
control
sense.
us, including the government. The elite, to control whomever is in office. The elite control whoever is in office, which may be why everyone was so against Trump. Mm-hmm. Because he was standing up to the elite, the Rothschilds, the people in charge. Like, everyone was so against Trump, and maybe that's why. Because he's like, fuck you. Like, I got my own money. I don't need to be bought or whatever. I'm not playing this shit.
And then also because he was always calling out the media too.
And he was calling out
fake
the elite,
media,
and he was calling out everything. He was like a whistleblower. He just calling shit out.
Yeah.
So she was viewing this as theft from the people of the world because they are charging us interest on our own money, and the money needs to be returned to the people and used to benefit humanity. And this gold goes so deep that the Vatican is involved, and many other major bankers know about this. In fact, get this.
Of course, yeah.
Suddenly, many major bankers started killing themselves. All at once.
Yeah, right, killing themselves.
40 of them, in fact.
Sure, yeah.
Was it suicide or was it murder?
I'm pretty sure it was fucking murder.
Because they were going to come out with the truth and they knew too much. Or they knew too much.
I highly doubt that they all committed suicide. So
what's interesting is that a year after the Whistleblower Act went into effect, that's when all the bankers with higher up positions started offing themselves. 40 in the course of 17 months between March 13th, in September 2014.
And you're talking about all across the world?
And these were people with high-ranking positions within the bank that maybe knew a little too much. David Rossi was the beginning. He committed suicide on March 6, 2013. However, there are cameras that show two dark, tall men, so like shadows because it was nighttime, that walked up to his body after he, quote-unquote, fell from through his third-story office.
Just
window.
Slipped.
He just fell out, or suicide.
Because that's normal. Out. That's normal.
And those two men did not provide no aid. They just looked at him and was like cool and walked away.
Didn't even call 911 or anything?
No, it would be one of his workers that called 911 over an hour later.
Oh, sure.
When he was found. And he was a communications director at the Monte dei Paschi di Siena, which is the world's oldest bank.
Where was this located?
I think in Rome or Italy. I had it and I didn't write it down.
No, that's okay. I just didn't know if you said it and I didn't hear you. No. But he was one of the oldest banks in the world.
And then William Brooksmith, a high-ranking Deutsche Bank executive, was found hanging at his home by a dog leash in the hallway, right at the entryway on January 2014. Gabriel McGee, vice president in the IT division at JP Morgan, found dead January 2014. Kenneth Ballando, the associate at Levi Capital Partners, but his previous job was at JP Morgan, found dead March 2014. Colagero Gambino, a Deutsche Bank lawyer, found October 2014. I'm not going to name them all.
Yeah, but these are the those prominent
are just a few.
Ones, yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if they're the prominent ones. They're just a few.
Yeah.
All of them committed suicide, and they all knew too much.
I don't think that they all committed suicide.
I
know. I mean, what are the odds that many people will commit suicide with the similar profession, knowing the same information or similar information? It just doesn't add up.
Right after the Whistleblower Act.
It doesn't add up, no.
So why wasn't Karen Hudes targeted?
Well, she died recently, right? Maybe she was.
No, she was already 70-something. She was not, and she did so many interviews. I'm going to say that it's maybe because everyone thought she was crazy, and if she had committed quote-unquote suicide, it would be too much of a coincidence and raise some eyebrows. But, offing different people all across the world, nobody would really notice too much.
Well, the thing is, her name is all over the media at this point, and people know about her. She's doing interviews and stuff. These people that work in the banks, people don't know who they are.
They don't know who they are.
They're not going to even notice if they are dead for whatever the circumstances are. I mean, yeah, their family and loved ones, but not like the general population.
No.
Yeah. It's not going to make the news.
Well, I mean,
it did eventually, but I'm saying,
but nobody connected all the dots like they should have.
Yeah.
But then again, we saw what happened to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Suicide or hanging?
I think they offed him because they didn't want the list to come out.
Exactly. I think deep down we all know that we are all puppets falling right into the trap of whomever is in control. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the Rothschild, the government, the World Bank, or some other rich entity. What are your thoughts?
I'm quiet. My thoughts are that we need to look into more about these bunkers and where they're located because I need some of that gold.
Really quick, I was saying Wolfgang Strutt this whole time.
Yeah.
And it's actually Struck, like S-T-R-U-C-K.
Oh, Struck.
So, Struck.
Okay.
Wolfgang Struck. So
okay.
I'm sorry about that. It should not have been Strutt. I'm just looking at that right now, and it is actually Struck.
I mean, like, they say that she is, like, a conspiracy, and it's, like, it's not real.
We're going to post a picture of Wolfgang Struck with his inventory list, as well as a picture of him with the inventory list.
You know what? I saw a thing that kind of goes about with it, with all of this, and I don't know a lot of information about it, so I'm just going to say quickly what I recently saw on the internet had to do with our social security numbers, and that our social security number is actually either a bank account number or a routing number to a specific bank somewhere in the world, and that we have like $1 million or $2 million in that account. But if you try to access that money, you have to do it the right way, and there is ways to do it. And up until I think 2000, like I said, I just saw this recently, I think 2014 or 15, you could access the money, but the government would make you pay it back somehow. And now it's to the point where like you can't even access it.
What?
Yeah, so we'll have to like look into that more. Maybe for a part 2 or something. But I don't, like I said, I just saw a short. You know how like YouTube has YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, okay.
I saw a little, literally like 30-second somebody speaking about it in like a TED Talk or something.
Yeah, that's so insane.
So the Social Security number is either a routing number or a bank number associated to a bank, and when you're born, you're automatically given and that's how the government makes money off of you. Like, we are the commodity.
I've actually heard about that.
Yeah,
that's how by the Social Security number somehow they make money off of it.
They make money off of you because they put that money, you have that money in the account. Maybe they're using this gold that they have hidden to back it. And then so these are, you said, what are your thoughts? These are my thoughts. This is where my brain went right now. And that what they do is, like, when someone is born and you get a Social Security number for your child, that number then is put to that bank, and then they borrow against that money that they put in there for you, and they invest it different places and stuff, but you can never actually access it. But some people have accessed it in the past, but they've had to either pay it back, or they've been like almost
killed?
Imprisoned, or like you will get killed. Like, yeah, there's we got to look more into it, but that's where my brain went. It's just the thing I saw about the whole Social Security number and all of that. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Whenever I had Max, and I wish that I had never done it, and I don't remember them doing it to any of the other children.
What?
They pricked his foot, and they couldn't, because Max. So Max had a really hard birth. And he was super tall, skinny. It wasn't okay. And he wasn't feeding right, and he just had some issues. Anyways, I just remember this with Max. It was so devastating because they kept cutting his foot to get blood to put on a piece of paper, and they needed enough blood to put on this test paper thing for the state of California.
For his DNA?
I think so.
So now they have a DNA log of all the children that are born, maybe?
As of 2016, I think so.
So they can keep you in the database in case in the future you do crime or something?
I don't know, but...
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but Brad was because Brad wasn't there when they did that, but I just remember them... for 2 weeks after, he had 3 slits on his... They used a razor blade. Because they used a razor blade.
I thought that it was a little...
No, it was on his it was on his foot, but they couldn't get it because he didn't have enough blood because he wasn't eating properly.
Strange.
So Max was born at 8 pounds 3 ounces, and by the time he was 2 weeks old, he went down to 5 pounds.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 8 pounds is decent. That's a good, healthy baby.
He was 22 inches when he was born.
So he's tall.
He was super tall, and then he went super skinny. His little his legs, he looked like a little Ethiopian, little tiny, nothing.
Baby.
He was in preemie clothes for a while, for a few weeks, because I was trying to breastfeed him, and I didn't have enough nutrients. I was producing, because I got a lactate counselor, a personal lactate person.
Yeah.
Did all the stuff. Brad's making me lactation cookies and shit to produce everything.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, we were trying everything.
That's awesome.
But the milk, it was, the volume was there, but there was no nutritional value in it. So he was literally not okay.
Maybe you didn't produce enough. What's it called? Colostrum.
No, that's in the first few days. Oh. This is
trying to remember the term.
Colostrum.
Something. Yeah, something like that.
But anyways, so I think that's why they couldn't get enough blood. They didn't have enough water or something in
well him? Yeah, because it's just if you and I go to get our blood taken, and if we're dehydrated, they can't get anything from your vein.
It was like that. But it was I just remember his poor little foot.
So I wonder if they did that. Maybe they did that to get his blood type.
No, because they needed it. There was different squares on this yellow piece of paper, and they needed all 12 squares filled.
12 12 squares.
Yeah.
I don't remember my children doing that. My children are now 14 and
I don't
almost
remember
16,
the other two
so I don't
either.
remember.
I don't remember the other two either, and I don't know if I declined and said no, because Brad was super pissed that I got that done. Like, he was like, why'd you let them do that? And I was like, well, fuck, you weren't here. Like, I don't fucking know. I'm in the hospital. I just had a C-section for the first time. I was in labor for 3 days and had an emergency C-section.
Yeah,
Leave
you
me
did.
the fuck alone.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like, you know, you're vulnerable. You're in a very vulnerable state.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for you to say, yeah, sure, because you don't even really realize what you're consenting to, and that's why they should definitely have another person in the room with you.
Yes, another adult that you trust, your own mother, father.
Yeah, somebody
the
that
child's
can
grandparent
help represent you
or something.
and,
because as fucked up as it wasn't okay.
Yeah, I don't think that they should let the mother consent like that, especially if you're on any drugs. Okay, like you had a C-section. I'm sure you were on some fucking good drugs.
Oh my God.
I mean, they basically... You had a C-section, you're going to be on something good. They can't ask you to sign shit when you're high.
Yeah, no, and but
that's fucked up.
So I went in on a Friday, and he was born on Monday. So they induced me on Friday. I was in labor for 3 days with epidurals and shit being pumped into me.
Yeah, no.
Like, I am not okay in my sane mind. Like, at all. So, anyways... All right, what do you guys all think about the World Bank? And do you think Karen Hudes was full of shit? Do you think there is a bunker full of gold somewhere? Do you think the government has lied to us all, and we are all entitled to $1 million each to save humanity? Or do you think it's all just bullshit?
Well, let us know what you think, because we really want to know. And if you have any additional information on this, let us know also, because we want to stay up to date on everything that we post.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. Thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to
share, like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and listen to us where you listen to all your favorite podcasts.
Bye.
Bye.